Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm not a real software developer. I just like building things and I use AI tools to help me do it. I like to create apps, test AI coding agents, and share how I get things working. Even if I don't always know exactly what I'm doing, I'm documenting my experiences, pains, struggle with using different tools to power my coding tasks. If you are figuring this stuff out too, or just want to see what's possible with AI powered coding, you are in the right place. So, in this video, I want to talk about some of the AI coding agents I've used so far. There are so many out now, and I've been trying different ones over time. I'm not a software developer, like I said earlier, but I enjoy building apps. That's what got me interested in using AI for coding in the first place. Right now, I mostly use Cline to handle my coding tasks. I use it with Gemini 2.5, Claude 4, or Claude 3.5 APIs, depending on what I need done. Sometimes I switch between them, depending on how well they are performing that day, or which one is annoying me, then I just switch. And when I'm out of requests or tokens, I use GPT 4.1 for smaller tasks. Now, I know some people might be wondering why I'm not using Cursor or Windsurf. I actually tried both of them last year. I haven't used them since. In my experience at the time, Cursor felt like something that made more sense for actual developers. People who can code well, debug or troubleshoot issues by themselves. Same with Windsurf. If you've used Cursor or if you used Cursor back then, you probably remember how you'd ask it to add a feature or fix something, and it would sometimes rewrite large parts of your code. Like you will just discover later that a large chunk of your code is gone. If you were building a website, for example, you refresh to see sidebars and headers, they have all disappeared. I honestly got discouraged at the time. That happened all the times I used it, and it made me pause on using it. I just stopped. I was so pissed off. I also looked at tools that focused more on front end work like Lovable, Vessel, and Bolt.new. Bolt.new was interesting because it could handle backend too. But the issue I had was that it only supported Vite and the programming language options were just too limited. That said, I do plan to try Cursor again, really. It's been a while and I'm sure it's improved, just like everything else in this space has. Cline makes me feel in control. I can't explain it. And I like the flexibility of LLM or model choice. But I won't lie to you, it has been messing up recently. There was a time I was experiencing a case of where you save and the changes were not saving. And the current one that is annoying is when you save or accept a change, the text or message you entered to be sent to the LLM remains in the chat box, as if you had not sent it. I hope these issues are tackled because it's really affecting the way I work, and I'm sure it affects the way others work as well. For now, my current setup works well. Cline gives me a good environment to work with, and it plugs into almost all LLMs that are available out there, including model aggregators like OpenRouter, Requesty, EdenAI. In case you don't know, Model Aggregator provides access to multiple AI providers through one unified API. So basically, it simplifies AI integration by routing requests to different models from a single endpoint. That combination lets me focus on building without distraction. So really, I'm still the one guiding the process, providing designs, guiding prompts, testing, joining AI in troubleshooting and fixing bugs. Over the past year, these AI coding assistant tools have really evolved. They've gone through a lot of upgrades, some small, some major. And because of that, a lot more people are now able to actually finish building their apps and ship them to production. I believe I'm one of those people still in that process. I've made real progress on a few apps, although I have only been able to ship a finance monitoring app that I built for my family members to production. But the major ones, which I want to make commercial, are still in development. I'm not where I want to be, but I believe I'm getting closer to the finish line. And app development is faster now, really. A big part of that is thanks to Gemini 2.5, at least for me. For me, it's been a huge leap from, developing for months to now weeks. And Gemini 2.5 is good for backend tasks. I'm not trying to hype it, but it's been surprisingly good. It's not perfect, but for what I'm doing, it's been more than enough. It helps me move faster, it handles more complex logic, figure things out without having to like Google every step of the way. While Claude is capable of achieving similar feats, it's is mostly indecisive and struggles to follow through with his own logic. Let's move on. For my next app, I actually plan to try Akoso again. I've had testimonies of how they have improved since last year, and I'm curious to see how it feels now. If it works well this time around, I might even consider subscribing. But that will depend on how much control I can keep and how reliable the output is, especially when the project gets a bit more complex. Every now and then, I step away from Cline and Gemini to work on front end design. I've mentioned some tools before. The front one for front end, like Bolt.new Vessel. So I don't necessarily use them to build the entire UI, but I just use them to get design ideas down very quickly. So what I do is build out a few components there, then move those files to my local machine so I can continue coding inside Cline, but still connected to like the other LLMs like Gemini and Claude. It's not a perfect workflow, but it works. The key thing for me is staying flexible. If a tool helps me move forward, I'll use it. And right now, that mix of AI tools is what is helping me get things done. By the way, billing is involved. If you don't know, when you use Cline with LLMs or the model aggregators, and they are not cheap. They come expensive, especially Anthropic's Claude and Goose Gemini. So that's where I am at the moment. If I try anything new and it changes how I work, I'll share that in another video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you've been using any other coding agents that you think are worth checking out, drop them in the comments. I'm always open to trying more. Catch you in the next one. Keep building cool stuff with AI.